Hello, everybody. I am Jessica Koch, and this is Profound Professionals, where we feature industry leaders from all over the world, showing how they're showing up uniquely and different and shining on our beautiful planet on a happy Monday. And we are LinkedIn Live. We've been doing this interview series for almost 4 years now. And we are finally live on LinkedIn the last few months. So we are excited about that. You will see us everywhere else too. Today, as our guest, we have Erin Porcher, and she is this CEO and founder of Global Works Consulting Group. Good morning, Erin. How are you? I guess it's good afternoon already. Woof. Monday morning has slipped by on me.
Same here. I'm actually in Louisiana Central Time. It's still here. But yes, thanks for having me, Jess.
My pleasure. So tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got to founding this amazing Global Works Consulting Group.
Yes, indeed. So my company was founded back in 2009. I actually, at the time, was working with the federal government as an employee and helping people to access federal government opportunities. My career started in 2005. I learned about all of the opportunities, all of the people that worked in the federal government, all of the opportunities to travel, and the benefits were great, right? So I want everybody to know I started helping people to get jobs with the federal government. I was doing resume writing, I was doing KSA, knowledge, skills, and ability, and we were getting people in jobs. It was amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And, from there, I became a contracting officer. And then I learned about federal government contracting. I was administering contracts and working with the private sector that we were hiring. That's how the company started, business developing and helping people get started. And we've just grown and expanded from there.
And so your primary focus as a consulting firm now is what?
Yeah, so our primary focus is to close the gap and introduce small and medium business owners to opportunities of federal contracting.
That's awesome.
Yes. It is truly an awesome focus. We are helping people see the windows of opportunity align services that they already sell and help them get in front of the federal government and make the government their primary client. A trillion-dollar market. And truly, minority business owners, there's a shortfall in minority business showing up, sees the opportunity to acquire those contracts and perform the work. So we're working to close that gap, do the business development, and help them, with their rates and build their capacity so that they can be those federal government contractors and perform contracts. So,
So since you have this connection and with the federal space and with everything that's changed and happened in the world, have you happened to been keeping your finger on the pulse of funding opportunities for these middle and small size companies with what's happened with COVID, because the federal government and the county and state governments and economic development, all of that have been issuing grants and funding resources and loans, as I'm sure you know, and they haven't all dried up yet, surprising enough. Some of them are still available. Are you keeping that part at the top of the list to support your companies, or is that a little bit outside of what you focus on?
So great question. So we primarily work with for-profit companies, contracts for for-profit. There are those grants available, which is, profit, and also some for-profits as well. We do pulse on those grants, those fundings that come from the federal government to the state government that are in place to revitalize businesses and also revitalize the communities. So we do share those opportunities. We work with agencies like the Urban Congress and Urban League. We also work with the small business development centers and really helping small business owners see where those dollars are to help them, to continue to do the work and also get that funding.
So what's it like? What are kind of the options if I wanted to explore and see if I was a small business owner? I thought, I want to see if there's a federal contract out there that fits what I do. Where do I start? What would it look like to work with you? Do you have group programs? Do you have courses? Do you just only do one-on-one? So what is it like to work with you as a client?
Oh, good question. So, because I started as a small business and was literally able to walk through that journey, we've created a suite of services to help entry level business owners understand what it means to become a federal government contractor and also give the decision points so that they can assess and determine where to get started, determine if this is alignment with their business goals right now, or if it's something that they want to do in the future. So, yeah, we have a free webinar where they can get that information and
Oh,
decide.
wonderful.
Yeah, yeah, free webinar on erinporche.com where they can learn, the basics, the foundations. Once they decide and, want to get into this federal government contract space, we have a workshop that helps them to do internal analysis and do that development that's needed, right? And then
Mhm.
from there, we provide one-on-one VIP services and also the implementation service. Because what we know is many business owners are focused on serving their current clientele. So to stay
Mhm.
a new product or service and engage with new clients, that's a tall task. And of course, with the federal government being that client that they're pursuing, um, it can be pretty complex. So we fill in the gap in that component and provide the training to the CEOs and also their sales or business development teams so that they can be successful.
Do you have workshops that guide them through building a strong capability statement and filling out their SAM, registration process and all of that wonderful, fun pieces of the government?
Yes, we do actually. Yes, we do. We have videos and trainings that help walk them through that for those that want to do it themselves. We do support that, and we also provide the service as well. So we've
That's
got a
fantastic.
Mhm.
That's really, really good. So if you had to give them um, three tips to, where to start or what to do, besides, I think the first tip is just go watch your webinar and see if this is right for them, because it sounds like you're going to take them through that process. But are there, 1 to 3 little nuggets of information that you can help them to begin this journey?
Yeah, sure. So with that, I would say start internal, looking at the services and the solutions that they offer,
Mm-hmm.
and doing some research to understand what federal agencies that are out there that align with those solutions.
Mm-hmm.
So most businesses, companies have a mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their mission can align with federal government agencies. For those
Mm-hmm.
that are in the healthcare industry, those that are, in real estate, of course, those that are in consulting, it's government wide. But understanding the missions of the different federal government agencies that align with what we're already doing is one of those things that I always recommend people do. Do the research, understand what the agencies are focused on, and from there, decide what agencies would be your top three potential clients, right? So get
Mm-hmm.
that top three. And also understand their internal capacity to be able to perform and provide their services. So whatever that looks like, knowing your capacity to do business with the government is important. And then from there, being able to help them to scale and build
Mm-hmm.
those things. The other thing, doing the research, understanding those missions. The other thing is to get registered with those T systems, sam.gov, and look at the different business certifications that are out there. There's some benefits in having those business certifications for their company. Just like, we get certifications and degrees for ourselves as individuals. You can have the same type of compliment for your company. And having those business certifications gives us a competitive advantage, and it also gives us access to different contract opportunities. So assessing those business certifications is very key as well. The other thing I would say is connecting with the local free resources that are available. There
Mm-hmm.
are procurement tech assistance centers, federal government funded, that provides government consulting support for businesses that are getting started. There's also the small business development centers, SBDCs, that provide those services, as well as the urban leagues and the local caucuses that does the small business development. So learning what
Mm-hmm.
resources are available in the area. I would always say get connected, get involved, get registered, because that also puts those business owners in the environment where the conversations are transpiring around government contracting. And also they can build relationships with other companies. I believe it's
Mm-hmm.
important to be in the environment so that, we can just really grow and expand and find our space. Um, yeah.
Awesome. So, I guess my next question is when they get to a point where they're ready to respond to an RFP, do you guys actually help them build those responses as part of your service?
Yes. So we actually provide solutions for the full acquisition cycle. So identifying those windows of opportunity
Mm-hmm.
for RFPs, all the way to closing the deal and fulfilling the requirements. We also do compliance, right? Compliance
Awesome.
is important in all performance reviews and reporting. We want to see business owners win in this space and be able to duplicate the process and be able to grow their companies by employing people and paying good salaries. So that we provide the full service there with the bid support.
So, are you 100% federal government focused, or do you do anything with local government nationally? So the public school systems, the counties, the states, things like that.
Great question. So we actually serve businesses at all levels of government. I've personally worked at all levels of government, mayor's office, governor's office, county,
Mm-hmm.
all that good stuff. And we believe that starting, in your own backyard, state government is a good entry point for business owners that have small teams, right? So we help them to get that up, really to do business with the federal government. That's the overall goal. But depending on the industry, entry points are different, right? So we
Mhm, because
start.
they need some sort of past performance unless they're gonna start as a sub, necessarily, in a lot of cases, right? They need some sort of past performance, and that local government can be a great kind of foot in the door is what I think, right?
Exactly, exactly. That's our
Surprised I know this much about it, aren't you?
Listen, that's how we set them up to win, just start with the state, That's a great way to enter the market.
Yeah.
In subcontracting, working with those primes who are already on those contracts and then working their way up to become prime. Bid support,
Yeah.
that's the long game, right? It's true.
Mhm.
So that conversation comes later, depending on where, the customer's past performance has been.
Yeah, for sure. For
Good
sure.
question.
Yeah, so I have a bit of experience, in case you hadn't noticed, in government contracting and government sales. I did a lot of government sales nationally for a long time. So really cool. And I had no idea. This was a surprise. You guys are all getting to witness this live. Like we're just getting to know each other. And I didn't know that this is what you were up to. And in our consulting firm, I do a little bit of government consulting, but as far as doing business with the government, but not very much. We do sales and marketing consulting, LinkedIn and social media training, and a lot of virtual assistant membership program support. And I don't do any federal government support at all. All my knowledge base has been in the space of, county governments and public school systems, and more of that local but national government kind of opportunities, everything from universities to hospitals to all kinds of power suppliers sometimes fall into that realm, different things like that. So that's where my knowledge base runs. But I'm so happy that we've gotten to know each other. So now I have this great resource to send people to. I'm super excited about your free webinar. What a great resource for you guys. I hope you guys take advantage of it. We thank you so much for watching us. And one of the reasons I started Profound Professionals is not just to feature amazing industry leaders and what they're up to and doing, but also the causes they care about and support, because, it's always about the big picture and not just about you and me. So, Erin, you mentioned you have a couple of causes that you support. I want to just take some time for highlighting them for awareness and trying to make sure that we're doing something good.
Yes, yes, for sure. So one of those causes that I am truly an advocate for is STAR, Sexual Trauma Awareness and Response. They are a nonprofit organization that is committed to serving the youth and also adult survivors of sexual trauma. So they provide support to individuals, of course, free of charge. And I just really support all that STAR is doing to help
Awesome.
individuals navigate and just recover and get back to a place of living, a healthy and well life. So STAR is that organization that I am truly committed to serving and supporting. And you can find them at star.ngo. At star.ngo to learn more about them. They serve both youth and adults.
That's wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. And we'll make sure all the links and things that we're talking about here are in the comments below this live stream video. After we wrap up, we'll hop in and make sure we put all those links there for you, and look for this information in an article as well. You just don't know where it might be popping up. All right. So thank you, everybody, again, for taking the time to watch us. We know that your love and appreciation is most profoundly shown when you take action. Actions like liking and sharing and commenting and, all the things. You guessed it. We are here on social media. It's part of our world now. So give us some love. And before we do say goodbye, I always like to ask my guests to share with us a little tip on something that has impacted their success journey along the way. So do you have some sort of resource or something you can share with us that has had an impact on your success journey?
Yes. So I am truly into mindfulness, just self-awareness. I believe in my journey, what has helped me to be successful and continue to move forward no matter what. Just knowing myself, understanding who I am, understanding my strengths and my weaknesses, and also having in place some self-care tools and mechanisms that work for me, that help keep me grounded, help me to bounce back and to continue to move forward. I believe because self-development, awareness is just the core of my foundation. I've been able to be resilient, right? And that follow up and follow through. Like I'm unstoppable no matter what happens. Through the good, bad, and the ugly, I always can find a lesson in an experience, right? And it's a mindset. It is a posture of how to receive life experiences. So I would just say to everyone that's listening to take some time, to understand who we are, um, Be willing and open to growing and expanding. Seek out a coach. Read about characteristics, and so follow and follow through. The follow up and follow through has just taken me so many places. Um, and I just believe that that's how we continue to show up and make an impact. So follow up, follow through, and build relationships and know myself.
I think that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for being with us here today. All right. Thank you, everybody. Until the next Profound Professionals, as always, I'm going to say be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. And we'll see you at the next Profound Professionals. Have a great week, everybody.